This is Greg Hawk. We're going to take you on a day trip up to Crown King, which is about 2.5 hours north of Phoenix up in the mountains, the Bradshaw Mountains. To get there, there's several ways to get there, and we're also going to tell you quite a bit about the history of the area while we're heading up that way. Okay? If you're going there, there's a couple four-wheel drive tracks that get there. One's coming from Lake Pleasant. It's about 27 miles, I believe it was, to get to Crown King, but it's pretty gnarly, so you might check with some four-wheel drive sites to see road conditions, if they got an update on it, because what I've read is you need four-wheel drive, high ground clearance, short wheelbase, the whole ball of wax. Make sure you got plenty of supplies, and if you can, travel in pairs. And if you come from the other way, from Prescott down to Crown King on the Senator Highway, it's 37 miles. The first 7 miles is paved, and then you go into dirt and gravel the rest of the way. And there's supposedly a few kind of gnarly places on that too before you get to Crown King. So you may want to have four-wheel drive and high ground clearance. The way we're going to go today, we're going to go get off of Highway 17 at the Bumblebee exit, which is about 45 minutes an hour north of town. Or you can go a little bit farther north and get off on the Bloody Basin exit, which I think is a better way. There's less gravel to travel. But anyway, if you get on the Bumblebee exit, you travel gravel all the way up to Crown King. You go through Bumblebee, Cleator, then you get to Crown King. If you go up the Bloody Basin exit a little bit farther north, you get off and you go west and you hit an intersection at a ghost town, an old ghost town called Cords. And actually it was the end of the Impossible Railroad that ran from Crown King all the way to there, bringing ore down and mining supplies back up until 1920. But anyway, you get to Cords, you make a left, and it turns into Crown King Cutoff Road, and then right into Crown King Road. And just a little bit farther after you go past that, you hit the town of Cleator. Okay, Cleator started actually in 1864 as a little town called Turkey Creek. There was mining out there, placer mining, whatever. And in 1901, a fellow named Nellis came to town and developed some buildings and whatever, and took a partner, James Cleator, later on. They expanded upon it. They started a cattle operation. In the end, Nellis took the cattle operation and James Cleator took the town. And in 1925, he changed the post office name to Cleator because there was more than one Turkey Creek, and that postal department wanted to change the name. So he just changed it to his name, Cleator. In 1949, he put the town up for sale, and there were no takers. So it stayed in the family till about 2 years ago, and what I've read, it sold for a little under $1 million. There's still a bar there. It's called a Cleator Bar and Yacht Club. A little bit of play on words there, but anyway, it's open on weekends, I believe now. It's been kind of a tourist thing since the 1990s, and somebody's been running it for a long time. They try to keep it open. Once you get through Cleator, though, then you head on up to Crown King. All right. At Cleator also, at one time, was where what they call Murphy's Impossible Railroad actually come off the mountains, stopped at Cleator, at that time Turkey Creek, and went over to Cords. That railroad ran from 1904 to 1920, and it finally shut down at that time. And then it was called the Impossible Railway because of all the switchbacks coming down the mountains, and they said they had to lay like 7 miles of tracks to go 2 miles. So there was a lot of back and forth to get down the mountain with the ore and get the mining supplies back up. And once the ore started running out in the 1920s, they shut the railroad down in 1939. They pulled the track up, and when you drive up that road today, you're pretty much following the old railroad bed to get up to Crown King. Okay, so once we get up to Crown King, we'll stop at the general store. We'll stop at the saloon. We'll take you inside, have a shop there. There's some cabins up there, I believe, for rent in case you want to stay up there. The saloon actually was built at the Orebell mine and brought over piece by piece around the early 1900s by mule and reconstructed there at the Crown King. The Crown King mine, prior to around 1900, they pulled out $1.5 million to $2 million worth of gold out of there. And once that railroad opened up, all the mines really started producing for about another 20 years, and things were mined out. All right. After the Crown King, we're going to take you down to Bradshaw City. Well, the site of Bradshaw City. At one time, in 1863, William Bradshaw and his brothers started it, and it built up pretty fast over the next 15 years. I think they had 2 boarding houses, saloons, restaurants, everything there. And one article said there was 1,000 inhabitants, another said 5,000. I think it's probably more like 1,000. But anyway, in December of 1864, William Bradshaw supposedly committed suicide. He cut his own throat, supposedly. And his brother took over, and it continued to grow. And they had 25 to 30 buildings. And around 1874, 1875, mining kind of slowed down. Mineral prices dropped. The town was pretty much empty except for the postmaster. 1890, prices picked back up, but Bradshaw City never recovered. All right. We'll take you up to there, and we'll show you also Bradshaw City Cemetery, just some history there. 1870, the Tiger Mine opened, and it was a big silver producer, going from 800 to 1,500 ounces per ton in silver. So at one time there was 300 miners there working that rich silver deposit. Around 1900, then you had the Orabelle mine opened up, and I think it produced around $700,000 worth of ore, and it had its own saloon and whatever else. Like I said, they moved that saloon over to the Crown King. A lot of history in the area. So we're going to take you up there, and we'll have a look around for the day. It's a good year to go up there if you want to get out of the heat of Phoenix and get up there to higher country where it's cooler. Just make sure you probably got an SUV with some good tires on it. I wouldn't take a car up there to gravel roads, a little rough in places. But anyway, that's where we're heading. I'll give you a quick shot here with the map and show you a little bit where we're heading. All right. You see here, this is the road coming in, all the switchbacks that railroad had to follow to get up to down to the Crown King. There's the Crown King right here. If you're following around and down, you get to Bradshaw City. This is on Senator Highway, goes all the way to Prescott. And we come back up and we went down to the Bradshaw Cemetery. And we'll have a quick look at that, and we can look over the edge and see the Tiger Mine down here. So you see there's a lot of mining going on in this area, and a lot of these square blocks, so it's patented mining property. So let's head on out and we'll go have some fun. First stop's Cleator. Let's just have a look around here. We got some old mining paraphernalia, an old dump truck here, an old building down there. And the dump trucks, the driver forgot to leave. He's still sitting there. And then we'll pan back around, and we're heading on up to Crown King. Here we are at the general store. If you get up here, maybe you want to poke around and have a go inside, have a look around. We're over at the saloon now, and kind of looking around here. Looks like there's another bar and cafe over to the side. Something new. We're going to go inside here in just a second and have a look around. They got beer on tap, and they got old pictures all over the walls, something to look at. So if you're up here, maybe stop in for beer, and they do have sandwiches around lunchtime. We come out of Crown King around on the Senator Highway, and we're stopped in an area that was once Bradshaw City. If you can look around there, there's not much really showing any buildings that have ever been here. It's been pretty well cleaned up. We did find a couple small foundations around that possibly were part of it. As we look around here, this is above that area, just looking around. Our next stop is going to be up at the Bradshaw City Cemetery and have a quick look around there. Well, this is the Bradshaw City Cemetery. We probably hiked maybe a quarter of a mile on a dirt path to get up here to come and have a look at this. So we'd be interested in what was up here in the signs. You can see there's a few graves laid out by stones, a few flags. Somebody's still taking care of this. A few little markers around that really don't say much about the cemetery and who's buried here. If we climbed above it, a little rock ledge, we look down in the valley. As we pan around to the left, there's the old Tiger mine over there to your left. That's where they pull that silver ore out of. Well, I hope you enjoyed a little trip and maybe you can make it up here yourself. We'll see you soon. Thanks. Stop by our website at desertroamerpress.com and check out our treasure blog and videos on it. Thanks a lot for watching.